guys, welcome back to my channel. Simone here, aka Simone Says on Instagram, and today, as promised to my loyal Instagram followers, I have created a tutorial for how I achieve these do-it-yourself goddess faux locks. And these are the short ones inspired by the beautiful Instagram natural babe. Her signature look, and I tried really hard to figure out how could I create this. So shout out to her because she rocks these faux locks really well, and I have been able to pull them off on my long hair, and my hair is actually longer than these faux locks, which is why I keep saying long hair, and I'm really excited. As you see, here are the results. But without further ado, here is a tutorial on how to get these goddess locks that I have in my head. Hope you enjoy. So I've pretty much done my whole head at this point. The only thing that's left for me to do is 3 left here in the front to kind of fill this in, and I've already sectioned it. I used 2 different colors. I used Marley braiding hair. I personally don't know if I would ever buy this hair again because it got really tangled, but I used this brand in 30 and 33. So the lighter color is the 30 and the darker brown is the 33. And I also used jumbo braiding hair. So I used the 1B, and then I also used 2, but I only used that because I ran out of the 1B, and the beauty supply store I went to didn't have any 2. So had to use what I had. Rubber bands and this to moisturize my hair. So I prepped my hair before the night before I did the faux locks in my head to kind of go ahead and let the moisture sink in. So as I've been going out in sections and doing my hair, I've been moisturizing each individual section right before I wrap it up in the Marley hair. And then I also am using the curls Blueberry Bliss. There we go, Blueberry Bliss. This is just the edge control. As you can see, I've already used majority of the edge control on my hair. Some nail glue and lighter, and I'll show you how I use those. So, and as you can already see, my hair is the same length, if not actually longer than the actual faux lock. A little bit of this, literally like just a little small amount, and I'm gonna rub it on this. Low key, this twist out. My hair trying to come. Look at this twist out. Playing games. So I'm just gonna make sure it's moisturized, and then I also want to make sure it's not like completely wet with the product, but I do want it so I can be able to see my natural curl pattern, so I can distinguish my natural curl pattern from the braiding hair. Next, I took the braiding hair, and normally it's double this size, and I cut it. So normally it's 2 of these, and I cut it. And if you know how to braid, this is kind of gonna be repetitive for you, but if you don't know how to braid, this faux lock style is so easy because you don't actually see the braids through the faux lock, which is good because if you can't braid and they look kind of tacky, then it doesn't really matter. So I'm just gonna take a small section. It's about this amount. And I'm gonna divide it again. So now I have 2. They're not the same lengths. This one is like a little, well, thickness. This one has a little less in it. And then I'm going to loop them around, and the 2 that has less, that's going to become 1, and then this will become 2. I'm also gonna kind of pull it at the ends. Again, if you know how to braid, this is like kind of repetitive to you. But that will kind of help me with when I go to braid it all the way down, how I can make sure that it's not just a blunt cut, and it will just actually move all the way down. So next I'm going to take my edge control, and I'm only going to take a little bit, just like literally, like, okay, that's kind of a lot. I'm going to take a little bit, I don't know if you can see that, and put it at the roots. Kind of laying it down. All right. Next, I am going to take this braiding hair, and I'm actually going to do a box braid. So I'm just gonna take one piece of my hair, or one section of my hair, and kind of group it with that individual one. And then the two that's gonna become one, I kind of let them go. And then I grab pieces of my hair to go onto both. And now I have 3 sections. I don't know if you can kind of see that. Again, it does not need to look perfect. You're not going to be able to see it. You just need to be able to create the braid. I'm not going to braid this all the way down. And I also didn't want it to be tight because I'm going to wrap the Marley hair around it and it's going to get tighter, as you can see, like right here. So I didn't want to make it super tight because then it's going to pull on my hair and that can create breakage. So I'm only going to braid it down a little bit more. I'm actually going to stop there. And I'm going to pull out the pieces of my hair. So this is my hair. And you can tell which parts are my hair from the weave. Now I'm just going to pull it off to the side. If it stays to the side. And then you check through the weave to make sure that your hair isn't still in it. And the reason it's so important to make sure all of your hair is out is because I'm going to apply nail glue at the end of this, as well as burn it with a lighter. So you don't want to burn your own hair or like super glue your real hair to weave, because then that's definitely going to cause breakage and you're not going to be happy when you take your hair out. So I'm just going to kind of move this up here and then I'm going to continue the braid. Doesn't really matter the sections. It also does not need to be tight. This is being unruly. Have your real hair with a little bit of that fake hair, clearly. But the most important thing is your real hair is now out of that braiding thread. And I'm going to put a little bit of edge control on it again, just to make it a little stiff, because I'm going to wrap up. But before I do that, I want to say too, I'm going to put a rubber band right there and I'm going to show you. I'm going to put the rubber band up and then I'm going to wrap it up. But I was really skeptical at first because rubber bands can, if they're too tight, they can cause breakage on your hair. And what I'm doing is I'm finding the larger ones in here. So there's like really tiny ones and then there's the larger ones. And my goal is not to wrap my hair so tight that it's staying, but to find a larger one. And all of them have only been looped twice. And I'm going to, I'm going to wrap my hair upward just once. And you can see, I just wrapped it up. And now I'm going to just wrap my hair around this. Okay, so that is where your real hair would be. Of course, the Marley hair is going to go longer than that. So I'm just going to kind of measure to where I want this next one to be. The equivalent to that one would be this. So I'm pretty much going to do it all the way down. But to create that knot at the end, I'm going to fold this upward. And I'm going to take a tighter rubber band. And I'm going to just loop this around this a whole bunch of times until it's super, super tight. And this will be the ending of it. I'm also going to clip a few of these. So this one is ready for to be wrapped. This is the Marley hair. This is several of the colors of the Marley hair. And I've been kind of mixing it up. Some of them have a mix of just the dark brown, then some are 2 of the lighter brown. So they come already individual, like separately like this. And for the ones in the back and the ones in the front, I've been doing 4 individual pieces. And then for the ones in the middle and on the sides, like this one, I've been doing 3. And the reason is that they're longer. So the more hair I have, it's like super, super, super thick. And then I'm not able to wrap it all the way at the bottom. And then it looked like this one, but I didn't want to redo it, and it's really, really chunky. So instead I just put some yarn on it, and I actually like the way it looks because it looks like a real dread. But as you can see, that one got super chunky at the end, and I had all this excess hair, but I decided to leave it as opposed to this one. As you can see, it looks a little different. So don't do that, because that's what I did. For this particular one, I'm going to take 2 of the light color, and then 2 of the darker color. So 230 and then 233s. You have to fluff this hair out. I think this is why I personally don't like this brand of hair, because I think it got tangled really, really quickly. I've used a total of 5 packs. Oh, I'm sorry, 6 packs. So I actually ran out of packs of this Marley hair. So I had to wear a head wrap to the top, looking like I was going / coming from Wakanda today. And I had to go buy an extra pack because I ran out of the dark brown. And I do know I wasted a lot of the hair because it kept getting tangled, and then I just had balls of hair all over the place. Now all of the hair, as you can see, and I'm gonna fray it again. I particularly, if you can see these colors, well, not that one. I kind of want the blonde to be at the bottom for this, so I'm gonna fray the blonde. We'll pull the blonde ones down to the bottom and pull the darker colors up, so when it's wrapped, that is what will be at the very top. It's the same concept with like braiding. All right, so now I'm going to take the top of this, and you see my braid. And I'm only going to take a little bit of the top, a little bit of this side, and I'm going to braid. It doesn't matter which way you start. I particularly have to move this out of the way because then it gets caught all up in my stuff. But you're going to wrap this around the base. It doesn't have to be super tight. And you're not going to wrap it all the way down. So you're going to leave some out. I do wrap it just a little bit more. And don't worry about what your hair looks like up under that. And then you're going to wrap this thicker one. So I'm going to wrap this thicker one around. But again, remember, don't do it too tight. You do want to make sure that it's laying flat, so all of the hair is going on it. But the tighter you do it, the stiffer it will be. And that's not cute. And then once you've kind of wrapped it around a couple of times, you're now going to just pull it through. You want to make sure that it's getting thick enough too before you move on. So you want to make sure it's thick and even before you move on to your next piece. And remember, this is the part that you are wrapping around your real hair. So you definitely want to make sure it's covered and that your real hair isn't sticking out. And you also want to make sure that you're wrapping tight, but not too tight, because if you wrap too tight, you're going to be able to see. You see how here you can tell I wrapped too tight? I did that purposefully because I wanted that one to look frayed. So you're going to keep wrapping, and then when you get down to the actual braid where it's not as thick, you're going to have to do a little bit more wrapping just to make it thicker, and you're creating the illusion that this is more of your hair. now I'm almost at the end, as you can see. And this is the part that you want to make sure you cover up. So I'm gonna wrap all the way around it, and then I'm gonna wrap up. Sometimes you may run out of Marley hair, so I've been adding some at the very, at the very bottom. You have to make sure you cover that little knot, because then if not, you'll see the rubber band. And you almost have to go up at an angle in order to cover the knot. It should stay, like it should stay like that, but it can unravel. So then you're gonna take your nail glue. So this is literally just some Kiss nail glue. I got it for $1 at the beauty supply store. And you're gonna put the glue where it ended. I personally have been putting a lot because I know these are really thick and I don't want them to come loose. And then you want to roll it. And you have a faux loc. So I personally want to make sure it's going to stay. So I take my lighter and I just kind of go and burn some of the sides off a little bit. And then while it's hot, kind of roll it together. Now, I don't do that up the whole hair, because you run the risk of burning your own hair out. So that would not be smart. And you have a faux loc. You have your long hair secured. And I'll do another one just so you all can see it.